This person can't hide it anymore, you know that. They try to keep it together, force a smile, but their eyes give it away. Ever since you stepped away, things have lost their rhythm. Nothing flows right. Sleep doesn't come the same way. Waking up is heavier, and the name that echoes caught in their throat is yours, you can tell. This person still looks for you in the details that no one notices, in the silence between one song and the next, in the fleeting scent that comes and goes, in the phone that stubbornly refuses to buzz. You still live there, even though you're not there anymore. Saying your name has become a restrained effort, but it slips out. Even without wanting to, it slips out. Because they can't pretend anymore. Before, this person would hide it. Now they don't. Now it overflows, it's noticeable, in the way they shut down when something reminds them of you, in the voice that changes tone, in the body that suddenly stiffens, in the gaze that drifts off into emptiness. Do you feel it too? Please respond. Because what is felt here is more than just longing. It's a real absence, an absence that disrupts everything inside. There's still a foolish hope, to see you passing by, to hear your voice out of nowhere, to find a sign. Because every time they try to move on, you come back. You come back in memories, in random scenes, in the scent of some random place, in a stray word, at the wrong time. The urge to say they miss you grows, it explodes, but the fear of not being heard is greater, so they stay silent. But you notice, don't you? You feel something calling, even if you don't understand, even if you try to ignore it, because those who leave a mark never go unnoticed. If this has ever happened to you, comment, "I needed to hear this." This person just wanted to show you that the absence still hurts, and that no matter how hard they try, they no longer know how to hide it. This person has tried, truly tried, to hide all of this. They put in the effort, held it in their chest, took a deep breath 1,000 times. They wanted to seem indifferent. They wanted to pretend they moved on. She wanted to tell others and herself that everything was fine, but it wasn't. And it isn't, because you left behind a silence. It wasn't just the absence. It was the space you used to occupy, and now it throbs like an uncomfortable void. A void filled with echoes, filled with memories, filled with all those things that this person pretends to forget, but doesn't. You've noticed this, haven't you? You can feel it in the way the name no longer comes up in any conversation, but lingers in the air, waiting to be spoken. You can feel it in the way her, or his, eyes avoid certain places. You can sense it in the silence, which has grown heavier, longer, more filled with you. This person can no longer keep up the facade. They rush to appear fine, but stumble over memories. They go to the market and run into a song. They look at an old photo and feel a knot in their stomach. Someone mentions something that reminds them of you, and inside, everything shakes. Do you feel that too? Or have you built up defenses so strong that you no longer notice? This person feels, with their body, with their soul, with a yearning that has turned into substance, presence in absence, weight in the air. At first it was just a light discomfort, then it became a constant reminder. Now, it's a latent pain, a pain that no longer knows how to hide. And it doesn't matter how much time has passed, because no amount of time has made you disappear. This person might even pretend to have forgotten, but their body remembers. Their chest still tightens. Their heart still calls out for you. Maybe it doesn't shout anymore, but it whispers. It whispers your name in every corner of silence, in every night that drags on, in every morning that arrives without purpose, in every moment when life seems to move but stays in place. This person misses you, and they are tired of trying to hide it. Notice, it's not just nostalgia, it's more than that. It's absence that has become part of routine, that has shaped their days, that has filled the spaces where there should be peace. Do you think they've moved on? Look again, notice their eyes. They still shine when they catch a glimpse of you by chance. Even if they look away right after, even if they pretend not to care, you weren't just anyone. And no matter how hard she tries to hide it, she hasn't managed to replace you. Do you know what this is? It's the absence that turned into reality. This person tried to convince herself it was just a phase, that it would pass, that all she had to do was wait. But it hasn't passed. And the more time goes by, the clearer it becomes that you are what no one else has ever been. Have you been through this? Share your thoughts in the comments. This person still feels, and she feels scared, afraid that you don't feel anything anymore, afraid of being alone in this pain, afraid of looking weak, so she stays silent. But you know, silence speaks louder than any phrase. And you feel it, even if you deny it, even if you tell yourself it's over. This person tries not to talk, but it always slips out. She talks about you as if you were just someone else. But the tone changes. The pause after the sentence gives it away. The way she holds her breath before saying your name says it all. Have you noticed? Have you realized how she never mentions you directly, but everything leads back to you? Have you noticed how she diverts her gaze when someone asks about the past? How she changes the subject when the conversation touches on nostalgia? This person can't hide it anymore. You left something there, something that didn't go away, something that stayed. And you know what hurts the most? The doubt. The doubt of whether you feel the same. Because sometimes it seems like you've moved on, that you've forgotten, that you're okay. But just the tiniest sign is enough. A like, a story viewed, a reaction to an old comment. Everything falls back into chaos again. This person doesn't want to pressure you, but she wants to understand. She wants to know if she's the only one who stayed. Because those who miss you live in silence but crave a sign. Do you feel the same? Or have you protected yourself so much that you can't feel anything anymore? If this resonated with you, comment, "I needed to hear this." This person thought about reaching out to you many times, but something always stopped her. Pride, fear, maybe just the dread of hearing what she doesn't want to, or the terror of facing silence. So she gave up, and she started pretending that everything was fine, but the body doesn't pretend, the energy doesn't lie, and feeling, that doesn't go away with excuses. This person feels, and she feels everything, with intensity, with truth, with pain. And that's why she can no longer hide it. Maybe you think it's an exaggeration. Maybe you think it's drama. But try to stop for a minute. Feel, close your eyes, and notice. Notice what pulses inside when you think about everything that remains unresolved. Notice how the image still comes to mind, even when you try to push it away. Notice how time hasn't killed anything. It has only placed a mask over it. This person doesn't want to pretend anymore. She doesn't want to seem strong anymore. Because true strength is feeling so much and still standing. Strength is looking into the void and accepting that it hurts. Strength is admitting, "I still miss you." Have you ever said that to someone? Or do you hide it even from yourself? This person can no longer disguise it. Tears come unexpectedly. Her heart still races when she hears your voice in some old audio. Memories crash like waves on a moonless night, and all of this has become inevitable, perceptible, irreversible. But maybe what hurts the most is knowing that you notice, but pretend you don't see. You know what I'm talking about. You feel it when she comes online, when she glances at you a little too quickly, when she talks to others, but the tone changes when it's about you. You notice, but you don't react, and that hurts too. This person just wanted to see you one last time and ask, "Do you feel it too? Or am I the only one stuck where everything stopped?" If this text reminded you of someone, share it with that person, or keep it to yourself, but feel, with truth, without fear, because feeling is not weakness. It's a sign that there is still something alive inside you. Do you still feel it when that person's name pops up somewhere? Even unintentionally, even by accident. It's like something inside you freezes, isn't it? Your chest tightens for 1/1000th of a second. You pretend you didn't notice, but you did. It's inevitable. The presence that once meant everything and doesn't just turn into nothing overnight. That person, deep down, is still waiting. Not for a message, not for an apology, not for an explanation. They're waiting to be noticed. They're hoping that even in your silence, something in you still remembers. That at some point during the day, out of the blue, your body thinks of them. For no reason, with no context, just because certain bonds don't fade away. Do you experience this too? Or was it too easy for you to move on? This person never asked you for promises, but they believed in the way you looked at them. They believed in the pauses, in the way you said "I'm here" without using words, and now the emptiness of it all weighs heavier than any physical absence. You know, because somewhere in your body, that remains, perhaps in the form of doubt, perhaps in the form of guilt, perhaps in the form of longing, but disguised as anger. But it's there. You didn't come out unscathed. And this person feels that. They feel it when you're silent. They feel it when you respond coldly. They feel it when you pretend not to see. But behind the coldness, there's fear. Behind the silence, there's confusion. Behind your absence, there's still a connection. Because this person, They feel you even from afar, even without hearing your voice, even without touching. It's an energetic presence. Inexplicable, but real. You know what this is. You've noticed it. You've felt their name popping into your mind out of nowhere. You've heard a song and remembered how they laughed. You've seen some scene and thought, if only they were here. But you kept it to yourself. You held back to avoid reopening old wounds. This person never wanted to be a burden. But they became a constant reminder. They became a good ghost. They became a loud absence. And when you say you've forgotten, you're just trying to protect what's left. But what's left haunts you in the form of dreams, of longing, of sensory memories. This person knows. They know there's no more disguising. They know that, even if there's no turning back, the pain of being forgotten is greater than the pain of being alone. You know that you feel it too, but choose not to act. And that hurts, more than any ending. Because when someone realizes that love still exists, but the other pretends not to see, the soul breaks in a place where there's no way to mend it. Have you ever been in that place? Have you felt someone slowly erasing you as if you had never been a light? That person goes through this every day. They see your absence as a constant reflection. They wonder all the time, do they miss me? Or am I just another faded memory? And when they find no answer, they try to move on, but they can't. Because everything still carries you. The places, the clothes, the way they look in the mirror, the messages that were almost sent, the saved screenshots, the songs they can't listen to anymore without crying. Do you have any idea how much you still live inside this person? They don't show it, but they feel it. They feel it even when they breathe. Because their breath has become shorter, more restrained, more monitored, as if everything they do could accidentally call for you. Do you know what that feels like? It's the absence that has gone too far. It's become chronic pain. It throbs, even when everything seems calm. It's what you left behind without returning. It's what you still carry without admitting. And if you've made it this far, it's because a part of you still feels it too. So answer me. Comment, I feel it too, if this is true for you. Because this person doesn't want to deceive anyone anymore. Not even themselves. They no longer care about appearing fragile. They don't worry about what others think. They just want to breathe without the weight of silence. They just want to know, if you still feel it too, or if you're pretending better than they are. This person doesn't want you to come back out of pity. Never wanted to. They just wanted you to have stayed, by choice, by desire. Out of love, perhaps. Not because it was easy, but because it was real. Because what existed there was not just anything. It wasn't a pastime, it wasn't a distraction. It was presence, it was a connection that can't be explained, only felt. And if today everything is like this, cold, disconnected, drifting through time, it's because at some point you also drifted away from yourself, from who you were when you were with her, from who you felt you were when you let yourself be seen. That person saw you truly, without masks, without roles, without the armor you wear for the world. You know this. That's why it hurts so much, because you can't just erase someone who saw your soul. That person doesn't want pretty answers, nor well-written words. She just wanted to feel that she wasn't disposable, that what she was still echoes inside you. Because the pain isn't just from absence. It's from the fear of being forgotten easily. It's imagining you living as if nothing ever existed. It's the emptiness left in the lines, in the plans that never came to fruition, in the unspoken yet felt promises. She tried to fill herself in other ways, changed her habits, her routine, her clothes, her perfume, tried to make the world move, but inside her everything still revolves around you. Do you think that's an exaggeration? Maybe because you've never felt the same, or because you felt it, but suppressed it before accepting. But there's something in you that still resonates when you think of her. You know it. You feel a knot, a slight discomfort, a desire to turn back time, just to look again with the eyes you have today. Do you feel that? Then why don't you speak? Why hide behind this silence that destroys more than it protects? That person is tired of pretending to be strong, tired of trying to move on with dignity while carrying a love unspoken. She doesn't want you back to fill a void. She just wished she hadn't been left halfway. You know, that conversation that never happened, that explanation that never came, that "forgive me" that died in your throat. She carries all of this. And even so, she continues to love in silence. It's not fair, but it's real. And maybe you'll never understand. Or maybe you'll understand too late. But there's still time. To acknowledge, to admit, to go back if you want, or to say, I feel it too, even if you don't know what to do with that. This person doesn't need grand gestures. They need honesty. They need courage. They need you with an open heart, even if just for a moment. If this touched you in any way, write in the comments, I felt every word, because everything you just read is exactly what they didn't have the courage to say to you, but they feel it every day. And you? Will you keep pretending you don't notice? Or will you have the courage to look within and find where they still live in you? If you felt all of this, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it.